Hey guys, this is Ben. Welcome back to Black Mountain's YouTube page. Today we're going to talk about Rymar, the wood sealer. This is one of the many products that Rymar has. In my opinion, it's probably one of the best stains I've ever used, especially for this area. It has a lot of different additives, and I really do think that we're going to switch over to basically just do Rymar when we're doing decks and stuff. And my repeat customers, I'm definitely going to talk to them about this stuff because it has a lot of different things that it has a lot of different things that they put into the stain that is really good for this area. One of them is it's a water-based product, so it's really good for the environment. You don't really have to worry about like rags or anything starting on fire, but it does penetrate into the wood like an oil would. So it does that by having citronella oil and other different kinds of oils that aren't flammable or aren't combustible when you like hold them tight. So it takes those, and the citronella oil is actually a natural insect repellent. So it helps repel the insects. You're sitting on your deck, you don't want to be swarmed by mosquitoes or anything. The citronella oil will actually help with that. It also has a pepper additive. So we have the pine beetle out here in the Black Hills, and it repels the pine beetle because as the pine beetle eats the wood, it's actually like sticking a mouthful of hot peppers in your mouth. Also really good for woodpeckers. So if you have a woodpecker problem, this is probably the stuff to kind of look at and go to. They say that, you know, there's military additives and stuff in it. Like I said, it's a veteran-owned company, so they do have a lot of different kind of additives in each one of their products. And their products, if you kind of look, they'll tell you what they have. This nanoparticle is just a really cool term to mean that it's going to absorb deep into the wood. So when you apply stain, some of the stain gets a little bit thicker, so it's actually not absorbing that well into the wood. This stuff is really thin and almost like water, and it'll absorb all the way down into the wood. It talks about having the sun seal, and it's basically sunscreen for wood. So if you have like a side, like an east-facing side or a west-facing side of a property, and it's just sun-baked, this stuff is really good for it. Holds up really well. Your average stain life is 3 to 5 years. This stuff, you're probably looking at closer to 7 to 9 year mark. So it's almost double the lifespan of other products. It is a little bit more expensive than your Mesmers or your Super Decks, but overall, you're gonna pay less in the long run by using this product. Like I said, this is gonna be the wood sealer. It's called Chameleon, and this is the flat. Basically, we're gonna put it on some wood. I'm gonna show you why it's called Chameleon, because if you're looking for that natural wood look and you don't really want to, what's the word I'm looking for? If you don't really want to see that you like the sealer on it, this is the stuff to get. So they have flat and satin in this. Like I said before, this is the water-based product, and we'll show you some of the other products that they offer, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'm gonna take this, open it up, and then we'll try it on some wood, and I'll show you the difference between the two products. All right, so basically we got the back side of a T&G board. The front side is lacquered, it's finished. We're gonna use the back side. It's raw, nothing on it. We have two products. This stuff, indoor, outdoor, Hellsman's. We've used it. You guys can see so I mean, realistically, 4 quarts to a gallon. So if the price point, when that sits at $100, it might seem like a lot, but realistically, it's cheaper than this. The smell of this is pretty bad. It's a urethane, and then this is the flat. But as you can see, it kind of changes the color and makes it a little bit more yellow, especially with the pine. And then when you're really looking at it, you can kind of tell that it's sitting on top. You can see it bubbling. So it means it kind of sits on top and creates a film. It doesn't actually penetrate the wood. This is a sealer that a lot of people use. I've seen it used a lot in like the wood art, stuff like that. But it's not a bad sealer. We use it on our Bigfoot, but I think I'm switching it over to that. But as you can see the difference, I mean, it's kind of night and day on that one. Now, it does have a yellowish tone to it, if you look in there. So it has a tone already, a little bit of a pigment. Now, we're gonna come over here and use the Rymar, different brush, and you can see the Rymar is white. So, most water-based, don't freak out, most water-based products are gonna look like this, especially clear stuff that hasn't had any, ooh, you can smell the pepper. And I mean, just right away, I mean, that's right beside it. And no bubbling, no color change. So what you're seeing is that the water-based product actually absorbing into the wood, no color change at all. And I mean, it's night and day difference. So when you're looking to make sure that you keep the wood integrity, that's kind of what you're wanting. So it's a little bit of an example of the Rymar versus the Hellmann's. Now I know you guys are saying, well, that's urethane, that's water-based, so we're gonna cut this off about right, I think that was about right there. It's good enough where I can't even tell. And we can come back and look at it, but it's way different. And then on the end, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take another water-based product and do the same thing with it. Let's check the shop and see if I got anything. So, Sherwin-Williams just actually bought Florenza, which it wasn't Florenza, it was like some Italian company, and we were actually lucky enough to try it before they really released it. So this is the, Enduro is a really good product. That's an interior product though. Florenza is more of an interior too, but it's gonna give you the true kind of, see where we're at. Comes in these cool cans that are super awesome to take off. So this stuff actually ships from Italy. So obviously price point is very similar. God damn. Okay, water-based. Man, it's like a bag of chips. You only get like, you don't even get a full one. But, so same thing, from Italy. And I gotta get a new brush. That way everything's the same. So we're gonna take it from the Florenza. So this is like really thick. No catalyst in this stuff, but I do like Florenza. It's actually a really good product. And then we take this, but even this stuff that's just a little bit more expensive, it's gonna sit on top. It's not gonna penetrate the wood. It's gonna kind of protect it. But even then you kind of still see a little bit of the change. And I'll mix it up real quick. But I'm telling you now, in Rymar's, it's still not dry yet. That stuff stinks. Which is a good stink. It smells like the pepper and stuff and the citronella oil. But, so you got two other, so these two are water-based, this is urethane. This one sits on top, obviously. This one's sitting on top, but it's soaking into the wood. That's gonna harden and then kind of go from there. This stuff's actually starting to ball up. So, I don't know what's wrong with that. I just opened that one too, so I'm not sure what's going on with this stuff. But obviously the Rymar's not doing it, so hands down, I think hands down the superior product. And you know, everybody knows if you're working with stain, anything like that, the more coats you put on it, usually the shinier it gets. This stuff isn't gonna get much shinier. If we come back tomorrow, this stuff's gonna be dead flat and you're not gonna really see any of this. Like this is pretty much dry over here, and it's still night and day difference. The Florenza, I'm actually really disappointed in Florenza. I thought it was going to be a really good thing. We've used it on some of the stuff, like I said, but it's an interior product. So if you're looking at interior, I definitely use it. It protects well as a top coat. You can't really spray it, or you're supposed to spray it, but it's really thick. I mean, it's right there. The proof's right there. There's no real color change. It's going to protect for 7 to 10 years. And with this stuff, we were doing Bigfoot every year, honestly, because we were watching it kind of flake off. This stuff's not going to flake off. This stuff's just going to be applied. Rymar has other products that are two-part products where all you're going to have to do is do a top coat over the top of it. So you're going to save a lot of money by switching to Rymar. Initially, it's not too much more. It's not more expensive than the stain now. But if you go down to Menards and buy the cheapest stain you can find, then it's going to be a little bit of a sticker shock when you go to this Rymar. But it's definitely worth the money. It's about double of what you would pay for a really cheap stain at Menards. I think our price point's like $110 on a gallon. But like I said, it's worth it. You're getting the longevity, the applies. Definitely worth it. And then I would just stick with the Florenza inside. But no, that's my take on Rymar, the wood sealer, the Chameleon, and that is the flat. And then we also have the Rymar wood sealer, which is an oil-based product in the back. So these are a couple products that we just have at the shop, usually at all times. My guys, like I said, are up in North Dakota. They're using the product. I also have guys down in Powder House, if you're familiar with the Black Hills. Huge rentals. They're switched over, and they're using Rymar on all the new houses. I would definitely look into it if you are thinking about building a home, or if you are a contractor trying to get into the paint and stain business. Quality product makes the job that much easier, and these guys are making the job really easy, and it's an easy sell. I mean, just woodpeckers alone, I have so many people call me about woodpeckers, it's unreal. And then also the mosquitoes. You know, we're up in the hills, we don't see a lot of mosquitoes, but when we do, they're absolutely horrible, and the citronella will kind of rid you of that as well. But check out some more of their products. Like I said, these are both water-based products. They do have oil-based products as well, and different colors. So my personal favorite is a Kodiak. It's like a lighter brown, and we'll put those up, and I'll link to the Rymar website as well. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video.